everyone. Hello to all of you and a very good evening. Welcome to the session. I'll quickly share. Okay. So, oh, thank you so much for confirming. Those who are watching me for the first time, I'm Niharika John Mehra, of Faculty of English, and I have been teaching English for more than 10 years now. You will find my sessions here regularly going on, especially this session. So, apart from this, quickly let me tell you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I take practice session RCs over here 1:30 p.m. Same time, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturday, I take classes on our other channel, which is CGB IBPS Hub. Okay, so these are the places where my practice classes and go on, and this is the main session, like the highlight of our English course going on, which is an editorial analysis. अभी इसमें हम क्या कर रहे हैं? We are learning how to skim, putting it into practice. We are doing the same with vocabulary, learning grammar. Now, grammar practice is going on, as in we don't go completely through the theory part, but we see a couple of rules working in a sentence, in a passage, in a paragraph. So that helps you people get better at grammar, so that you can do well in error detection, sentence correction, para jumble, descriptive paper, and where not. I mean, the grammar is always important. Apart from these, some MCQs are there for you all to make sure you are able to retain more and more things in your mind as you go through the paragraph, a piece of information. Cool. So, जल्दी से like और share कर दो and subscribe to this channel if you are new here. We do have some great courses. They are available on our website. Exam targeted courses हैं, so do check them out. Details are in the description below. What we are going to do is we are going to start with skimming. Skimming में what you have to do is you have to focus on subject and verb. That is one part of it. एक बात ये है कि आप subject और verb पर ज़्यादा ध्यान दो, so that you understand the main action happening in a sentence. Also, you should not be translating things in your mind. Try to capture the sense of, or let's say the crux of 2 3 lines, every 2 3 line, and that's how you understand what is being said. Communication को English में ही समझो here. Also, make sure you don't invest a lot of time in pronunciation, reading long names, data, figure. मेन क्या हो रहा है वो समझकर उतना पढ़ना आना चाहिए, and this will come over a time with practice. Skimming is useful for your exam. It is there so that you may save a lot of time and yet accurately do the questions in your exam. So this is a very important step of our practice, and you all need to follow it. अभी मैं आपके सामने टाइमर दूंगी. You start reading. 2.5 minutes का टाइमर होगा. I'll scroll for you as well. So ये आज का editorial है. It is taken from the Hindu. Please start reading and then I'll explain. Once you're done reading, in a line or two, please explain what you have understood is the main message of the passage, okay? Okay. So, time is up, and I hope you all were able to read. Very interesting topic today, a little different from what we have been going through lately. And let's understand. Clean AI. See, now we don't even get to see, at least in titles, the full form of AI. It is that common. But in exam, if you are writing anything and that is on AI, or you are mentioning AI for the first time, make sure, despite it being so common, we will use full form first, okay? So clean AI on AI data centers and energy demand. So what author has to say about these centers and energy demand? Let's see. The International Monetary Fund's report that pointed to the likelihood of the economic gains. There is this report that pointed to the gains of AI applications outweighing the environmental cost of increased energy demand. Demand is what? That AI data centers will require. यहाँ पे भी तो एनर्जी लगेगी ना स्टोर करने में डेटा सेंटर्स में. So this applications outweighing the environmental cost is reassuring. So it's on the positive note. It highlights, it underscores that this transformational technology is not fundamentally at odds with global imperative. Okay, so it highlights this previous thing, this report highlights that the transformational technology, which is AI, and the applications, वो against नहीं है, they are not against the global imperative to pursue sustainable growth strategies across the board. Countries that are better prepared with renewable energy generation are bound to see a lower social and environmental cost to pursuing their AI ambition. So now those countries, those have encouraged renewable energy. They are generating it now. They are bound to see lower cost, social cost, environmental cost. They don't have to invest much to pursue their AI ambitions because data storage centers, AI data centers, they can of course take full leverage of these renewable energy generated centers. India's AI infrastructure, at least the part of it that government is indirectly funding through the India AI mission, does not rise to the level. अभी यहाँ पे कहीं पर इंडिया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात अब हो रही है that हमारा जो इंडिया का AI इंफ्रा है, it does not rise to the level of weighing at a macro level on the nation's energy mix. Energy mix, why? Because we follow both non-renewable and renewable energy generation pattern. Still, the need for pursuing renewables, specifically for AI, is necessary to follow. So, as of now, author is saying we still need to keep going with generation of renewable energy so that the technology can grow. This is already, in a sense, the government's approach to the issue, outlined at the AI Action Summit in Paris earlier this year. So, this was already mentioned in this summit. While AI is not the sole industry where a push for renewable energy and sustainable practices is important. So now author is saying the AI is one of the most important ones, but it is not the only one industry altogether where such practices we can see are important. The sector nevertheless offers itself to for two main reasons. So what are the two main reasons? The first is sheer volume of electricity that is set to consume. The AI data centers, they do require a lot of electricity. IMF's report indicates that in the US, the single largest home for AI computing capacity globally, AI expansion alone could increase electricity prices up to 9%. So this is again the report, and this indicates that in the US it's gonna be like so. adding to the price pressures coming from many sources. So because see, it's not like hawa mein sab ho raha hai. Storage and computing places, capacities, सबके लिए we need energy resources, and here it can push the price up to 9%. As such, renewable energy could play a major role in cushioning, in protecting against the multifold rise in emissions that conventional energy sources would likely entail. So, of course, renewable energy, if followed, can help a lot. The second point is that the data centers lend themselves uniquely to captive renewable infrastructure. Now, second thing is that the data centers, they lend themselves to captive what they can go ahead with renewable infrastructure. Some Indian firms have already made moves to purchase renewable energy, and the hundreds of acres that data centers occupy are ripe. They are all ready. Something is ripe means वो पूरी तरीके से यूज होने के लिए तैयार है, ready to harvest, ready to consume. For complementing equipment with solar cells. So solar cells को डाल देंगे. They have bought a big piece of land and all, and other these companies are purchasing. Nuclear energy may also turn out to be a welcome contribution. So, apart from solar, nuclear energy can be a good option. Small modular reactors at emerging data center clusters, in conjunction with other sources, would avert a sizable quantity of emissions. So, a big chunk of emissions, we can, of course, save ourselves, protect ourselves using nuclear energy along with other renewable resources. Electricity use is not the only environmental footprint that the AI age will leave behind. Okay, so how much electricity AI is using is not the only thing we should keep in mind. The technology requires large scale mining of minerals and water use, and produces influence in the manufacturing of the electronics supply chain. So there are other effects or impacts वो भी देखने को मिल रहे हैं. Of course they are on, they're detrimental, they are on our environment. So as electronics manufacturing is another space that India aspires to grow in, these opportunities must be pursued in this area too. So using renewable energy, just like we saw with AI data centers, we can start using that for electronics manufacturing wherever it is possible. India's net zero target for 2070 will demand a scaling down of conventional sources of emissions. Okay, that means the regular ones, the ones we are already using, and managing the rise of industries that are poised to expand their share of global energy consumption. So, when we have a net zero target, now this is a piece of information. If anything is asked on net zero target for 2070, उसमें भी आप लिख सकते हो. Very commonly asked topic in essays. So this will demand a scaling down of conventional sources of emissions. We first of all need to start using less of the conventional sources, and we need to start managing the rise of industries, such industries that are poised to expand their share of global energy consumption. So they are right there, expanding their share, and we need to work on getting things under control. Sustainability basically हमें चाहिए है यहाँ पर. Okay, cool. So I'll take you through some vocabulary and then we will go to. Nobody has written anything. What as per your thought is the summary or one line takeaway from the passage, from the article? Let me know. Okay, let's understand some words. Transformational. Noun plus al gives you adjective, something that is bringing significant change. Revolutionary, okay, परिवर्तनकारी है, बड़ा बदलाव लेकर आएगा. Imperative is another adjective that means something which is absolutely necessary, essential, urgent, होना ही चाहिए. Renewables, energy sources that are naturally replenished. Sustainable energy, जो कि हमें रुकना नहीं पड़ेगा, easily renew हो जाते हैं. Cushioning is a trending word these days, because in at least the Hindu newspaper it uses this word like anything. Instead of saying the word protection, we have often seen this word used in a lot of domains, but for the same meaning, that is softening of something. Blow है किसी प्रकार का, झटका है उससे बचने के लिए, सो रिड्यूसिंग द सिवियरिटी और इम्पैक्ट ऑफ समथिंग, दैट काइंड ऑफ प्रोटेक्शन, उस प्रकार के प्रभाव को कम करना है क्वेश्चनिंग. entail is to involve something as a necessary part, so basically necessitating something, कि किसी चीज को हम बहुत ही आवश्यक मान रहे हैं. Okay, yeah. Captive infrastructure, so this is the private infrastructure, okay, dedicated facilities for specific needs. Such infrastructure that is decided to go about a proper a specific way or dedicated way, उसको हम captive infrastructure बोलते हैं, which in other simple words we can say private infra. Affluence, again a very common vocab which you must know in order to write something on sustainability, climate change, and all. So effluents, liquid waste or pollutants discharged into the environment. Okay, so any kind of discharge, liquid discharge that is polluting and harming environment. Poised is ready or in position. So if you are prepared to do something, you are poised to do something, right? तैयारी में होना. Macro and micro, I hope बहुत सारे लोगों को समझ में आता होगा, but this is for those जिनको नहीं पता. Relating to large scale or national level impacts. Micro, as the name suggests, छोटा सा जगह, छोटा क्षेत्र, कम लेवल का, कम जगह का इम्पैक्ट. उसका उल्टा ऑपोजिट टू इट इज मैक्रो लेवल, इट कवर्स अ ब्रॉड रेंज, अ लार्ज स्केल. स्केलिंग डाउन इज टू रिड्यूस इन साइज, स्कोप, इंटेंसिटी और क्वांटिटी. तो whenever one is downsizing, diminishing, घट रहा है, कम हो रहा है, the phrase scale down is used. Similarly, scale up is to increase the size, increase the scope of something. So both of the phrases you can use easily in your descriptive writing. Okay. Using, okay, so I have, thank you, at least someone has written something. Using unconventional source of energy to drive growth and reducing the overall emission, AI and more energy in AI and more energy intensive. This is spot on, Shivam. So good job. You have understood what the article wanted to say. She felt really bad about the whole situation. Okay, so I don't know from where we have this sentence, but if this is just a random question, spoken English में acceptable है. Okay. Questions. Chalo. Tell me. We are gonna go through some grammar rules through questions. This is the part where you revise the application of a rule. Okay, you see how a rule works in a sentence. That's what is required to be done in your exam. Exam में direct rule तो पूछेगा नहीं, है ना? What we learn is this is the subject, इसका ये verb चलता है. But when you don't even know where is the real subject and the real verb of the sentence, तो क्या करोगे वो rule को याद करके? This is why this activity is important. Okay, so first sentence, subject and verb दो मुझे इसका. Pointed is the verb. Whenever you have an apostrophe and you see there is a noun after apostrophe, if in the beginning of the sentence the word with apostrophe is not the subject, the word after apostrophe is your subject. So report. First of all, I don't think anybody has mentioned report is my subject. अभी क्या कर रहा है? This is a complex subject. So report, this main subject is being explained. कौन सी रिपोर्ट, कैसी रिपोर्ट, किसने दिया, that pointed to likelihood of the gains of AI applications outweighing the cost of the increased energy demand that AI centers will require. Is is your main verb. Okay. Actually, your sentence is a short, small sentence. The report is reassuring. Reassuring here is not continuous tense, it is working as adjective. So, report is कैसी है, how it is. The quality of the report is that it is assuring again. So, this is reassuring. But we wanted to have a lengthy sentence here. We wanted to talk about what report, what it tells, and what it explains. That's why वो इतना बड़ा sentence हो गया. So anyways, subject यहाँ पे report है, which is singular, and that's why main verb यहाँ is है, which is a helping verb, but the only main verb in the sentence. Okay? Yeah. Next question. I hope you have understood that part of speech of the underlined word. Akash, I'll explain that. Okay. So we do a lot more than just doing that. But whenever a question is given and you have a sentence, let's assume we have this first sentence in front of us in error detection question. So approach is going to be, I look for a subject, and because subject verb agreement is to be checked, मुझे वो check करना है. So I need to see whether where is the main verb and whether it is used correctly or not. That's why it's important for me to know कि इसका respective verb है कहाँ. Okay, it goes like that. This report is also antecedent for the relative pronoun that. तो pointed भी उसके according होना था, but pointed is not the main action जो यहाँ पर हो रहा है. So you need to learn the techniques if you want to do well in your descriptive writing as well. Adverb, yes. Fundamental is an adjective. Fundamentally, any adjective plus ly gives you an adverb. Okay. Next question. This word. Part of speech of this word. Yeah, it's a noun. Technically, the word mix can be a noun or a verb. It depends how I'm using it in a statement. In this case, I am saying macro level on what? On energy mix. Answer to what is always a noun, and that's how I know. यहाँ पे अगर mixing होता तो गलत होता. Okay, mixes होता तो गलत होता. Mix as a noun, as an uncountable noun, is being used over there. So these learnings are very important, guys. Um, okay, let me put it this way. What is the subject of would avert? What is the subject of this modal verb and main verb combination would avert? Subject batao. Modular reactors, since it is not and, it is in conjunction with. अगर and होता तो ये renewable resources भी होते, but as of now reactors would avert along with, conjunction with, together with. Now all things written after these phrases are secondary. Of course यहाँ पे subject आपका reactors था. One thing that you need to remember, now this is just me explaining to you something important. Another के साथ हमेशा singular आता है. So if you are using this adjective another, that means one other, you need to use a singular after it. Okay, another pair of something, another teacher, another student, another class, that means one other. One last question. Give me the tense and voice of this sentence. Give me the tense and voice of this sentence. Tense and voice. Which tense, and if it is active or passive voice. Very good. It is present perfect and it is active voice. Okay. Have plus verb third form. Through this, you know that the firm subject itself is doing something, and it is the doer of the action, hence active voice. Let's move towards the questions and summary. So let's first see the exam angle, because pressy के लिए आपको summary समझना and filter करना आना चाहिए, and this is the sample of it. So the IMF report suggests that AI's economic benefits can outweigh its environmental costs. Economically, if it is benefiting us so much, then environmental cost को शायद लोग overlook कर दें, provided that sustainable energy practices are adopted. There is a clause, there is a condition that sustainable energy practices should be there in place. While AI's energy demands, especially for data centers, are set to surge, we can see more of energy needed in coming days. Renewables and nuclear power offer critical solutions to minimize emissions, but we do have solution as well. India's AI development under the initiative remains modest in its current energy footprint. That means we have not gone aggressive. Currently, we are on the level which is okay. But proactive investment in renewable is essential. But that doesn't mean in future it will be the same. So from today we need to, from now onwards we need to prepare. We need to be proactive. We cannot be lazy. Furthermore, India must consider the broader environmental impacts of mineral extraction, water use, etc., especially as we want to become net zero by 2070. Okay, so yeah, this is the summary, 2-3 main points. Exam angle, you can get to see a variety of essays or something asked or RC based on this. So AI and sustainable development, if I'm just comparing this, if there is a person, a student, an aspirant who has not read anything like what we read today, connecting the dot to sustainability, use and AI, it's going to be very difficult, because for a person who has no idea of what we just read, they'll think AI is technology. Sustainability is just about not using resources which are polluting the environment. So this kind of article can really help you come up with the content when such a topic is asked in exam. So AI and sustainable development, energy demands of data centers, AI data centers, renewable strategy, India's renewable strategy. You can talk about how people are again buying the lands and all and preparing for more use of renewable strategy. Net zero by 2070 hot topic. इसमें आ सकता है बहुत कुछ. Challenges in managing new economy industry, one of them being AI. Environmental footprint of AI. This is again, if you have read some content like this, then only you will be able to write. And it is very interesting and easy to follow. तो आप उसके लिए prepare कर सकते हो. Okay. I'll just go through some comments and then I'll give you the questions. Okay, so all those who have enrolled in the paid batch and you do have my old lectures, those lectures are theory lectures, very different from what we do here. So if you are new to English altogether, or you may have forgotten what you learned in grammar in your school days, please go through that, through those videos, those classes of theory. This is something which will help you boost everything. So it's not targeted practice or targeted lesson of grammar or vocab alone. They are different things. This is of course important, but I think you still have got some time, so please cover whatever you can. Ma'am, crash course की PDF की download बनवा लीजिए. I didn't get the logic of meeting. Anuj, I can convey your concern to the team, but it's not in my hands. I hope you understand that. Okay, Dhanesh, I can try. Actually, this whole channel, no, the demand is to keep maximum things in English because many don't come from Hindi speaking background. I'll try to increase little bit of Hindi portion here. So some students, majority of our students are from non-Hindi speaking background needing help in English. Please go ahead. First question. Read more. Zeba, if you can read more, that will help. Like this kind of editorial, and even in your personal time, slowly your mind will start catching points and stuff, the content, relevant content, and your subconscious mind will tell you how and when to use it. Answer to this one is C. So definitely, what characteristic makes data centers particularly suited to adopting renewable solutions? Because they can integrate such infrastructure, and they can leverage renewable infrastructure in their system. Next question. This is to test your memory. You have just read the article. What does the editorial imply? Is insufficient, not sufficient by itself to manage AI's environmental impact. So answer is C. We cannot exclusively rely on renewable electricity because passage was talking about mining, mineral mining, water use, effluents and all. So there are other factors as well, and hence answer is C. It is not exclusive reliance, not reliance, exclusively relying on them, on renewable electricity is not sufficient. Question number 3. Answer to this one is B. Which aspect of India's AI infra currently prevents it from heavily influencing national energy mix? This was very clearly given that we are still not at that macro level, national level impact. Hence, how can we heavily influence national energy with respect to AI infrastructure? B इसका answer है. The IMF report's findings most directly support which of the approaches? Approaches में से जो है वो है proceeding with AI development but anchored to renewable strategies. Okay, you need to stick to renewable. You continue. Nowhere author is saying don't continue, stop, or do this that. He's saying you continue, but also you try incorporating renewable energy sources. Okay, so answer to this one is A. What broader policy challenge for India is linked with this? Reaching net zero target by 2070. एक ही तो mention था पूरे passage में. Now, some error detection question. First. Come on, guys. Answer is E. It's all good to go. Although AI data centers, plural, have the potential to what disrupt 2 plus V1 energy grids, comma, because although is already used, so दूसरा clause आ जाएगा, their reliance on what? On renewables. Is reliance is subject for the second clause is good to go here, likely to mitigate what? Overall emissions. Next question. Make sure to like and share, guys. Answer to this one is C. Now there is a rule where we follow some pairs. So whenever we use both or in fact between for that matter, उसके साथ हम and लगाते हैं. Okay. India's goal of net zero emission by 2070. Goal requires both strategic planning and scaling down of high carbon industries. One. Can you give me the correction here? Captive renewable infra like a rooftop solar installation. Infra allows. There you go. So infrastructure is the subject and verb is allows. So that is subject verb agreement is fulfilled. Data centers to reduce. Okay. Again, allow is one of those verbs. If there is other verb, any other verb after it, it will be in 2 plus infinitive format. Okay. So this is reducing. Use of gerund is wrong here. That dependence on fossil fuels. Okay. Installation is not your subject now. Captive renewable infrastructure. This is my first noun. So this is my subject. For example, like, such as, wo kuch bhi ho, doesn't matter. Subject is singular. Allows is good to go. Answer to this one is a very interesting one. B is the answer and answer is the. Nahi the. The IMF report emphasizes there is a specific need mentioned. It is explained. So it is not a need out of many. Okay, there is the need for balancing economic benefits with sustainable policies amid AI-driven expansion. So this was the correct use uh, uh, of the article that we wanted here. Fifth one. For plus gerund is okay. And need can take for after it. Need can take two as well as for. So that is not a problem. The answer to this one is C. Okay. While nuclear energy offers a promising supplement to renewable AI driven AI infrastructure, public skepticism remains a challenge. So supplement to something कहा जाता है, preposition error था, यहाँ पे to आना चाहिए था. Okay, so I hope this is clear to all of you now, and you might have learned a lot, understood a lot, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for attending the session, guys. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, same time. And before that, a 1:30 p.m. class on our other channel. We are covering SBIPO mains questions. So hope to see you there. Take care. Bye bye. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.